Good morning. It is a new day of a new week, full of possibility and life and vibration and energy and light. And on this good morning, we are called to wander with the wanderers, raise our hearts and voices with worshipers, proclaim the memory of those who have taken their leave, wrap the despairing in the arms of love and community, and hold the hands of all of us who have broken our vows and call us back again and again to the covenant and work of justice and balance and wholeness. For this we are here together this morning. Come, let us worship together. Our opening hymn is number 55, Dark of Winter.
Good morning. My name is Min Rayleigh, and I'm glad you are all here this morning. Welcome to UUYO, the Unitarian Universalist Church of Youngstown's hybrid worship service. We are so glad you are here to join us in person in Youngstown and virtually from all destinations across the Mahoning and Shenango Valleys, the United States, and further away by line of sight, but not by heart. We are a unique church. Our members are not bound together by a shared creed, which means you do not need to sign your name to a set of beliefs to be a member of this church. Instead, we are bound together by a commitment to our life in the here and now and the life of our neighbors in the here and now, guided by love, compassion, and justice. If this is your first, second, or third time, we'd like to get to know you better. Everyone who attends today is encouraged to stay after service for a while for a talk back time where we can check in with each other and get to know each other better. I'm told we are having boiler issues, but I've also been told that the downstairs is a separate heating system and it's warm down there. So come down for coffee hour and thaw out with us. Okay, some announcements. For the pledge update, the 2023 annual pledge drive ended earlier this month. However, we are currently about $20,000 short of our goal. So we continue to encourage anyone who has not yet pledged to please do so. Pledge cards are available in the church office or online at www.uuyo.org. Please follow the pledge prompts to find a printable pledge card. See Lenore Jones or Reverend Joseph for more information. And we want to thank all of you who have already pledged. Your generosity and heart are appreciated more than you know. The Winter Solstice celebration is this Wednesday, December 21st. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. and the ritual starts at 7 sharp, followed by refreshments and fellowship through 9 p.m. And my favorite, fire. Our Christmas Eve service is at 5 p.m., and we will also offer our usual Sunday morning Christmas Day service. After service on Christmas Day, please come see Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol at 2 p.m. in the sanctuary. That's today. Yeah, I thought that. Okay. Sorry. Today after service, please come see Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol at 2 p.m. in the sanctuary. It is free and open to the public, and I'm also told he answers questions as Charles Dickens. Should be interesting. Again, welcome to UUYO. If you are new, there are visitor packets available with some information, or you can see Reverend Joseph or one of the other church leaders. Again, welcome to UUYO, and now Sarah is going to do the chalice lighting.
Our chalice lighting words this morning come from Ben Soul and DC Fortune. Let us hold a quiet moment together as our chalice is lit. As the wild wind bites, so does the still flame warm us. As the deep snow blocks our doors, so does the gentle flame bring us out. As the crackling cold air stops our breath, so does the radiant flame draw from us the words we need to give and to receive, words of greeting, words of comfort, words of solace, words to challenge our minds, and words to bring us to action. Let us gaze upon this our common flame so that we remember who we are and what we can do when we are together. We light this chalice as a symbol of our free faith. We light this chalice to remember the miracle of the oil that burned for 8 days. We light this chalice to mark the nights of midwinter. We light this chalice as we wait for the sun to return.
Today we have a story for you called Frederick, and it's by Leo Leone. All along the meadow where the cows grazed and the horses ran, there was an old stone wall. In that wall, not far from the barn and the granary, a chatty family of field mice had their home. But the farmers had moved away. The barn was abandoned and the granary stood empty. And since winter was not far off, the little mice began to gather corn and nuts and wheat and straw. They all worked day and night, all except for Frederick. Frederick, why don't you work? They asked. I do work, said Frederick. I gather sun rays for the cold, dark winter days. And when they saw Frederick sitting there staring at the meadow, they said, "And now, Frederick?" "I gather colors," answered Frederick simply, "for winter is gray." And once Frederick seemed half asleep. "Are you dreaming, Frederick?" they asked reproachfully. But Frederick said, "Oh, no, I am gathering words, for the winter days are long and many, and we'll run out of things to say." The winter days came, and when the first snow fell, the 5 little field mice took to their hideouts in the stones. In the beginning, there was lots to eat, and the mice told stories of foolish foxes and silly cats. They were a happy family. But little by little, they had nibbled up most of the nuts and berries. The straw was gone, and the corn was only a memory. It was cold in the wall, and no one felt like chatting. Then they remembered what Frederick had said about sun rays and colors and words. "What about your supplies, Frederick?" they asked. "Close your eyes," said Frederick as he climbed on a big stone. "Now I send you the rays of the sun. Do you feel how their golden glow?" And as Frederick spoke, the sun, the four little mice began to feel warmer. Was it Frederick's voice? "And how about the colors, Frederick?" they asked anxiously. "Close your eyes again," Frederick said, and when he told them of the blue periwinkles, the red poppies, and the yellow wheat, and the green leaves of the berry bush, they saw the colors as clearly as if they had been painted in their minds. "And the words, Frederick?" Frederick cleared his throat, waited a moment, and then, as if from a stage, he said, "Who scatters snowflakes? Who melts the ice? Who spoils the weather? Who makes it nice? Who grows the 4-leaf clovers in June? Who dims the daylight? Who lights the moon? 4 little field mice who live in the sky, 4 little field mice like you and I. One is the spring mouse who turns on the showers. Then comes the summer who paints in the flowers. The fall mouse is next with walnuts and wheat, and winter is last with little cold feet. Aren't we lucky the seasons are 4? Think of a year with 1 less or 1 more." When Frederick had finished, they all applauded. "But Frederick," they said, "you are a poet." Frederick blushed, took a bow, and said shyly, "I know it." The end.
Please join me now in reading the covenant found in your order of services. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Each month, we give to an organization that supports transformation in our community, which is the heart of our mission. In our church's historic commitment to the well-being of our community, we give 100% of our offering to those in need. Since 1969, the Boys and Girls Club of Youngstown has been at the forefront of youth development, focusing on connecting with young people from historically marginalized communities because of economic, social, and family circumstances. Its mission is to inspire and enable all young people to reach their full potential as productive, caring, and responsible citizens in a safe environment where they can learn, have fun, and be themselves. The Boys and Girls Club of Youngstown has 2 clubhouse locations and offers after-school and summer activities, both academic and extracurricular. Some of the programs club members enjoy homework help, college and career planning, diversity, equity and inclusion, arts and creativity, and healthy activity like sports, fitness, nutrition, and social emotional learning. To further encourage club members' growth and success, the Boys and Girls Club of Youngstown has a rewards program where students can earn club bucks to purchase items in the club store. UUYO's contributions will help support the Club Bucks and Club Store program and the ongoing leadership development and achievement of young people participating in the club's wide range of activities. We will now receive the offering that supports the life of Youngstown, the Mahoning Valley, and our wider world. I just got one more announcement, sorry. If you are coming to Solstice on Wednesday, we ask that you please sign up for bringing food. We're doing a potluck. And now we're going to have a moment of silent meditation. Our reading today is Garland for the Winter Solstice by Ruthven Todd. The sun stands still and flowers are all withdrawn, but memories give back cardinal lobia, tall scarlet fountains for the hummingbird, vined, broken with blue and liver apios, hanging horns of jewelweed, with pods which pop when prodded by the idle or inquiring finger. Also remain those favorite swamps where calipogeon, butterfly-winged orchid, flaunted its magenta above pink-tinged saffron and crimson sundew. Black water in the mind has purple spires of pickleweed and sweetly odored lilies, richly scattered in yellow cups of spattered dock stemmed on the mud. Orange pom-poms of butterfly weed brighten the bare expanse of memory, where also grow the milkweed with rubbery white sap and knobby pods, short flowering stars of blue-eyed grass, and rather more persistent amaryllis, golden stargrass on untraveled roads, and the too seldom glory of wood lily. Asters and goldenrod for autumn equinox, with the blue wheels of chicory, and at all times the dandelion. That plant, which having become perfect for purpose, has forsaken sex and can evolve no more. Also, little lady tresses in the tawny fields, and under various trees, the last red flushed Indian pipe, ghost flower, or fairy smoke. Before next solstice, I shall see once more the arugula of by the woodland paths, the galaxy of violets and wintergreen, round leaf and steamy belled skunk cabbage poke up beside a stream, bluets whose masses make up for lack of size, and meadows staring white with ox-eyed daisies and untamed chrysanthemums. There will be slender blue flag by the swamp and saffron-stemmed deer grass, lambkill and lady slippers in the wood, and the wild rose with fragile petals. The yellow thistle will rule sandy banks, and the devil's paintbrush will be obvious among the tombstones, a curious irony. Swamps will have candles, linnaeus, mistaken mistletoe. Now perched on this polar height, when all sap lies quiet and does not climb, when all seems dead, I cultivate the wild garden rioting in my memory. Count in advance the treasures which the sleeping sap contains, knowing that both alien and native will surely reappear regardless of my attentions and delight. I see also that this death-like sleep is only for a while. All is not interred, for bright scarlet partridge berries shine among the green and polished leather leaves, and through the snow emerge umbrellas and spikes of strange club moss, and winter runs from now towards the waking of sap in spring. For as long as time has been recorded, humans have been looking to the sky for enlightenment. The sun, the moon, the stars, all gave wisdom and guidance. Before there were calendars to tell us what day it was, there were ways we marked time and celebrated those special days. Longer days in the summer filled with warmth, good for hunting, harvesting, and kinship. Short, cold days in the winter when food was scarce, harder to come by, and rations were needed, which made humans rely on each other all the more for warmth, protection, and sharing of provisions. There were special days celebrated more than others throughout the year, not the least of which were the equinoxes and the solstices. These days celebrated the earth, the sun, the moon, the gods and goddesses, the foods that nourished us, the people that made life worth living, and more. In a few days, we celebrate the winter solstice, just as people have been doing for at least 10,000 recorded years. Have you heard of Newgrange, Woodhenge, or Stonehenge? All of these ancient monuments were built to align with solstice. Before the advent of electricity, sunlight was a valuable and precious commodity. So these were created to harness the little available light on the shortest day of the year. Newgrange harnesses the winter solstice at sunrise. Stonehenge harnesses the winter solstice at sunset. It is believed the ancient people thought they could capture the valuable sunlight on the one day of the year where there's the least amount of it. Even today, people come from all over the world to celebrate solstice at these monuments. Many people associate winter solstice celebrations with pagan religions, but the truth is that this time of year, many people celebrate religious holidays. It is no coincidence that early Christians chose to celebrate the birth of Christ in late December. They incorporated the celebration of Yule, among others, which was originally celebrated on winter solstice, or started on winter solstice, into Christmas festivities. From pagans to Romans, Native Americans to Buddhists, and on, there are cultures and religions worldwide that recognize the winter solstice as a special and holy time. Many people do not look forward to winter, especially on days like this. There is a reason why so many snowbirds, human and fowl alike, move south for the winter. When the days grow short and cold, we as humans do tend to grumble a little more. Seasonal affect disorder is a real issue for many people as they grieve the lack of sunlight. Some of us recognize and acknowledge that these short, cold days are as necessary as the long, warm days of summer. For Earth and the humans alike need this time to recover from the long, hard year, to sleep under a warm blanket of snow or down or fleece, or if you're like me, preferably electric. We need that time to slow down, tuck in, and reflect on the year that has passed, when there is more darkness than light and the cold forces us indoors. We spend more time with family and friends, gathered in the literal and figurative warmth of loved ones. We cuddle and snuggle and share that warmth. There's also a reason why September is the most common month for birthdays in the US, approximately 9 months after the winter solstice. Winter solstice is often called the longest night. For me, that is so fitting for this entire year. This has been the longest year, filled with many highs and some very low lows. In the past 12 months, I have battled with health issues, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. I have grieved with the world as tragedy after tragedy happened and hate seemed to become more and more commonplace and accepted. I've had to say goodbye to many friends and family members, including my best friend of 35 years and my big brother. I have struggled to move on with my life without some people that I never imagined having to live without. I have hit rock bottom and allowed my dark demons to almost defeat me. On the other side, I've also been blessed with a job where I'm able to help others, and my hard work earned me a much-deserved promotion and raise. I've started to work on my health and well-being again. I started working towards my master's degree, started making plans for my future again, and I reconnected with some beloved friends that I have missed dearly. As I celebrate this winter solstice, I have much darkness to let go of and much light to look forward to. I ask you now to please take a few minutes to look back on your own last 365 days and appreciate the good, grieve for the not so good, and look forward to what is about to come. On this, the darkest of days, I urge you to remember that, as the saying goes, it is darkest before the dawn, and darkness can be defeated by the light. Yes, this is a dark time, but brighter days are coming. In this time of retrospection and introspection, I invite you to reflect on what did and did not go well for you this past year. What did you do well? And what would you like to work on for the coming new year? What would you like to release, let go of, and leave in the past? And what would you like to wish for and work for in the future? Now is the time to celebrate both letting go and moving forward. We recognize that the solstice, the shortest day of the year, as both an ending of past things and a beginning of new things. This is a time to reflect on all that has happened in the last year, to learn from what we experienced and let go of what did not enrich us. What enriches you? In many cultures and religions, winter solstice symbolizes the death and rebirth of the sun, as the shortest day comes to an end and the days begin to get longer again. On this day, the movement towards longer, brighter days is marked by celebrations of feasting and friendship. Fire is often a central part of the festivities. Some use fire to light the night, to chase away spirits, protect themselves and their loved ones, cook food to feast upon. Some use fire to cleanse the past and light the way to the future. Some use that fire to literally burn away the mistakes we made, the wrongs that we did and that were done to us, and to burn away all the negativity that wore us down throughout the year. Whether they are writing down on paper that they will then burn in the fire, things they want to move on from or let go of, wishes, thanks, offerings to whatever gods or goddesses they worship, apologies or blessings to be burnt, they light the fire. Whether they are burning a Yule log, roasting a plump hog, or just warming themselves and lighting the night, they light the fire. More so this year than I have in a long time, I need the fire. I look forward to this Wednesday night when we will gather together here, light the bonfire, and celebrate the winter solstice together. I welcome you to join us if you are willing and able. I welcome you to join us to nourish your body with the food we will share. Warm your body and soul with fire and friendship. Honor the earth with celebration and rekindle the hope for the future. I love a good bonfire any time of year. Being a Sagittarius, I'm a fire sign. But there is something special about the light and warmth of fire on the shortest, sometimes coldest night of the year. I look forward to the friendship, the fellowship, the fire, food, and reflection. I look forward to letting go of the darkness and welcoming back of longer days, brighter days, and with any hope and luck, better days.
Thanks, Mindy. And thanks everyone for bearing with me from home today. The sun stands still and flowers are all withdrawn indeed. It is still and it is quiet. And in parts of the Mahoning Valley, there was even snow on the ground this morning. Though snow and temperature and weather aren't defining characteristics of the solstice. Instead, the threshold of seasons we stand at this week is about how the sun may seem to be still and quiet. I remember our first solstice celebration that I participated in here, which may have been 2017 or 2018, I don't remember. We loaded up with pine wood and our rusting steel brazier just as it started raining. We hoped it would abate, but instead it became a downpour the entire night. But the celebration inside was warm. Now, was this the one that we did a play about day and night fighting? And if so, was that the same one about the maid, the matron, and the crone? I guess we have been celebrating the solar holidays long enough now that the memories of them are starting to mix into one another. How about that? I didn't always celebrate the solstice. It was years after I started spending most of my waking private time in the spring, summer, and fall outdoors that I started to notice that my sense of the year had been warped and something else undergirded our weather and our seasons. When I was young, the rhythms of the school year dictated when fall fell. The very end of August, and kind of just slowly graded into winter, first with the Canfield Fair, then Halloween, then Thanksgiving. And by Thanksgiving, it definitely had to be winter because it was so dark, and the next holiday was Christmas, and that's definitely a winter holiday, right? Then the winter ran sometime into March when the light finally lasted longer, then Easter, by which time it definitely had to be spring. That's when spring break was. And when school let out early in June, that's when the summer started because that was summer break. Then fall at the end of August again and again and again. After I graduated, winter seemed to run from when it started to get darker earlier in October until it started to stay lighter in March. So something like October 31st to April 1st. This coincided with when I had the winter blues, better known nowadays as seasonal affective disorder. What a depressing view of winter, literally. Each of those views was a fit adaptation to my life at different times. My exposure to our solar calendar was reading the Farmer's Almanac now and again and thinking how quaint and old-timey an equinox sounded, like whorehound candies or Ben Franklin with his key and his kite and other bits and pieces of lore. Like the almanac itself, I thought the solar seasons were just something for old gardeners like planting seeds under strangely named full moons. Then about 8 or 9 years ago, I started going for walks in parks and reading about the things that I saw, like the leaves on the trees turning colors and falling, and bees crawling around in those fallen leaves. Were the bees looking for an out-of-the-way place to pass away, or was it possible that they were going to bed for the winter? How did the trees and the bees know to do these things? Probably the temperature, I thought before I looked it up. But as it turns out, temperature is certainly important, but can differ greatly in a manner that doesn't indicate the season. Instead, the trees and bees know by the length of day. Just like the day length that triggered whether I felt okay or crappy. I started to see that the trees and the bees and myself had something in common this way. This led to me looking more closely at the almanacs again. 2 points of the year, there were days where the daylight and nighttime were the same, our equinoxes, and 2 days where the day or night was longest, it would be the entire year, halfway between the equinoxes, our solstices. This seemed fundamental in some way, bigger than the trees and the bees and myself, because the plants, at least the ones native to here, like milkweed or partridge berry that Todd mentions in her poem, grew themselves with no intervention, but depended on the length of day. The days would shorten and lengthen without the plants, though. Humans other than me have recognized the sun and how lengths of day factored into everything we did when we were more closely coupled in the earth, probably tens of thousands of years, until maybe the Industrial Revolution. At some point, I think it was the equinox or solstice that had a full moon, which seemed like kind of a big deal. The question was, why don't we celebrate this fundamental bit of our world, of our existence? We may as individuals or families, but isn't this the kind of thing that UUs may be interested in? And as conversations happened, it did indeed seem to be the case. One thing I have learned about being a Unitarian Universalist is that there are as many reasons or traditions or pathways to celebrate something as there are UUs. For example, this last summer, we heard about someone's connection to the summer solstice after going with a friend to an event and having a great time. Personal testimony can be so powerful, and I still feel a little sun-kissed, thinking back to the excitement in that person's voice. And some of our members who, like we heard earlier today, practiced earth-based traditions. Some of us are gardeners or foragers and recognize the lengths of day for those reasons and know how important and inviolable they are. The common thing that binds us as UUs is our covenant, and this is based on our principles. And we realize that we are deeply interconnected and are rethinking and re-realizing ourselves in that interconnection all the time. This is our 7th principle, recognizing our interconnection with existence. We strive to recognize ourselves as a part of something much, much greater than just ourselves. We strive to bolster one another, especially those who need an ear or a hand or a joke or a fire or a snack when the days have become so short and light so rare. We strive to let go of things that don't serve us or our work to make a better world, just as we strive to set intentions for ourselves. We strive to have a good time when it may not be so easy to do. So whether it has been 4 or 5 years, I know I look forward to our solar holidays more and more each one. I enjoy hearing why you wish to celebrate them. I've heard examples as simple as I just wanted to be with people, to long stories of traditions practiced and changed throughout lifetimes. This Wednesday, I'm looking forward, I really hope, to being among you to celebrate. And if I am not there physically, I will be in spirit, certainly. I hope that anyone that is available and wishes to celebrate together can meet on Wednesday. And this is my wish for a solstice blessing and a peaceful holiday and end to the year. May it be so. Now our prayer. In this time of waiting, may we hold the world in our hearts. In this time of waiting, may we hold each other's hands. In this time of waiting, may we be thoughtful and introspective. In this time of waiting, may we delight in the darkness and all it teaches us. In this time of waiting, may we rekindle the fires of hope, love, joy, and peace within ourselves and our communities. In this time of waiting, may we become ready for the coming day. Our closing hymn is number 345, With Hope We Claim the Growing Light.
With joy we claim
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
We go out into the world to work to make the world a better place. Recognize the greatness in one another. Remember the one great fact: you are loved and never truly alone.
Greetings, Jim.
Greetings, Al.
Hi, everybody.
Hi. I heard Melissa.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I heard you.
I heard Ann.